All right, we're going to do some ab work today. Core for sure. Everything, stems from here. So we want to have a strengthened, lengthened approach, but at the same time, it's not just literally focusing on this short, small area of the body. We want to really think of integrating the whole body as we work the core, right? So there's that connection and breathing. Let's always breathe. So let's start out on our backs. We're just going to iron out the back, make sure we feel good. In order to get there, let's do a roll down, which also counts as core work. So rolling the shoulders up, back, and down, sitting up nice and high on your sits bones, breathing in. You can lift your arms. And then as you exhale, slowly roll down, tipping the pubic bone forward, melting down one vertebra at a time as slowly as you can, trying to keep the chest nice and wide and open, articulating the descent of the lumbar spine, the thoracic spine, and finally the upper cervical spine and head. Exhale out. You can reach the arms long overhead and reach the legs beneath you. Let's just take a moment to stretch out. Make some noises. Sigh it out. Bend the knees and then give yourself a nice hug. It's good to start out with just this moment of letting the body know you're safe. You can allow the weight of the bones of the legs to fall into the hands on the kneecaps or shins, and then start to draw circles like you're stirring your femur head, your upper thigh bone in the socket, and reverse the other way. Just a couple times, maybe moving back and forth. And then eventually we'll just allow those feet to land parallel, finding some space here as you reach down, you can feel your heels with your fingertips, and then just relax. So let's bring our hands on our hip points and tilt the pubic bone forward. You can imagine you have a bowl, an upright bowl, like a singing bowl or a bowl of cereal, and then come back to neutral, and then allow the contents of that bowl to tip towards your chest or your belly button. Come back to neutral. So we're just moving a little forward as we tip the bowl forward, back to neutral, and then finding the tilt towards the throat, towards the belly button. You can do that a few times. You can also rest your arms down. Once that feels satisfied, that sensation, you come back to neutral, and then just rock your right and left hip points side to side. It's a smaller movement, right? You're not even going to see much here in this film, but just to guide you. And then now let's go in a clockwise fashion, tilting the pubic bone forward as we started, this time to the right, so towards your right hip bone, towards the upper tilt, like we were tilting towards the throat, and then towards the left hip bone. So you can imagine we're working from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on a clock face, moving in a clockwise fashion, maybe circling around once or twice. Maintaining your breath support as you do this. This is great for releasing back tension, pain in the lower back especially. And after about 2 revolutions, then let's reverse that. So once you come back to that forward tilt, let's go this time to the left. So say 12 to 9 to 6 to 3. So working counterclockwise. Doesn't really matter which direction you start as long as we do both. And you might feel some sticky grooves or tighter places in this very subtle motion, but it is pretty powerful. So just allow yourself to breathe and track the inside of your pelvis and the lower back. Eventually finding yourself back in the neutral position once you come around about twice. All right. Let's float the arms up. And then inhale up the legs to tabletop. You can point through the feet, flex through the feet and hands, or go through a point, which is like a point of the ankle, but flex of the toes, right? So we're going to go through all types of variations. Let's just start by releasing the left arm back and the right foot down. So just hinging, keeping that 90-degree angle. We'll inhale the limbs away. Left arm at the level of the ear, not really touching the ground just yet, but you're tipping your right toe down. Exhale in. That's super slow motion. We're going to go faster than that. Lengthening the right arm back and the left leg down. And exhaling back. Inhale. Alternating arm and leg. Exhale. Inhaling. Nice and wide in the lungs. Breathing into the side ribs and the back. Maybe pointing, flexing the toes, but keeping that ankle pointed. Inhale on the away and exhale on the in. We can pick up the pace a little bit here, but still keeping that 90-90 bend in the knee so we're not fully extending the leg. That's another exercise. And now let's flex. Inhale, so flexing at the ankle joint. Exhale. Lengthen away the limbs and then exhale, gather in the middle. Seeing if we could time the leg and the arm together. Cool, now coming to a point. Now let's do both arms and legs together. So inhale, both arms and legs away. Exhale, them both in. Inhale away. Exhale in. 5 more. Using your breath. 3 more. You can flex, maybe change the feet up a little. 1 more. Good. Make yourself into a small ball. Bring your head in towards your knees, gaze to your navel, and hollow it out. And start to rock and roll up and down the spine. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Crossing the legs, hands in front of you, and let's come to all fours. All right? So now let's do the opposite again, arm and leg, but in an all fours position. So as we come here, we just want to make sure we're not dumping down, like fully flexing back or over rounding. If you want to just take a few cat-cows here, you can arc back, finding the head and the tailbone meeting overhead as you gaze upward. Pull your hands back and traction your heart forward as you inhale. And then as you exhale, rounding the spine, bringing your navel to the ceiling, and your head and your tailbone magnetized down to the mat. That'll feel like a nice stretch for the back. So maybe a few times like that. Using your breath. Feel free to add a circle. Got some sounds going on here. Paying attention to your breath. Add a circle the other direction too, just to iron things out. Feel free to also take a wrist stretch as we arrive here, because we will be bearing some weight on the wrists, on the hands. So just being aware of the way that you're receiving the ground, right? Anchoring the base knuckle of each fingertip down, all right? So taking a breath, in and out. Okay, let's tuck our toes under, inhale. Exhale, let's hover those knees. Gazing forward and ahead of us so we keep the neck nice and long on the spine. Gazing about a foot in front, right? So we're stabilizing ourselves here with our core, drawing our navel to our spine. We can stay just like this in the hover. Inhale and exhale. Keeping a micro bend in the elbows so we don't hyperextend. I have hyperextended elbows, so I have to be extra aware of that. And then let's lift our hips just a slight bit higher. Maybe we twist on the exhale, keeping the upper body facing forward so our shoulders don't move, but the hips can swivel. So inhale in the center. Exhale, gentle twist, working the obliques gently and keeping the gaze forward. Inhaling, exhaling. So working in sets, right and left, right and left. Let's take 2 more sets, right and left. You might hear a little pop or crack as you kind of find a little air and space in the vertebra. And then let's find neutral, breathing in for 3, 2, 1. Extend your legs long, coming into the high plank position, rocking a little front to back. And then let's come down to our forearms. So if that feels comfortable, right hand, left hand planted down, still gazing out ahead of you. Maybe you clasp your hands. That might feel like a better base, which is totally just as valid, and we can rock a little front to back. Keep breathing. I know we're building up some heat now. We want to try not to pike our hips too high or sink them too low. Just trying to find that long line of energy from the heels all the way to the crown of the head. Now, another option here for the obliques, we can gently lift and then dip down the right hip. Inhale, exhale, dip down the left. So finding that twisting action. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way down, if the hip point doesn't totally meet the ground, but we're finding that twisting action in the lower body with the stability and support of the core. So we don't want to give up here on the core, or we could actually end up hurting our back. We want to be very mindful of having this connection back to the source. Let's do 2 more on either side. Keep breathing. Last 2, right and a left. Stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 4. You got this. 3, 2, and 1. Bringing the hands back down. Tiptoe the heels, walking the feet closer to you. Coming into a dolphin pose. We're pressing just our forearms down, lifting the hips high, giving the legs a nice stretch, and then pushing into the hands to straighten the arms. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Open your mouth. 3 more clearing breaths. Helps to release the tension. Maybe shake the head yes and no. Inhale. Maybe stick your tongue out. It feels good. 2 more. Last one. Let everything go that's pent up. Bending your knees. Look forward to your hands. Jump to your hands. And then we'll come back to sit down on our back. Or back on our sits bones, right? So roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's come back up to our high seat that we started with. Breathing in. And then as we exhale, slowly lowering down, again, 1 vertebra at a time. This time, instead of stretching out all the way, exhale, we're going to inhale the arms, inhale the head, tucking chin towards chest and coming all the way back up. Inhaling, melting down on the exhale. Using your breath. Inhale, arms and head. Exhale, rolling up, articulating. Breathing in. Exhale down. Keep trying to draw that navel in towards the spine, peeling off the mat like a massage. This time at the halfway point, we're going to stay in that challenge zone and then extend the left leg forward and the left arm back. Gaze back to that left hand. Breathe in, flex, point, and come back to center. Still stay behind the sits bones. We're scooping out like an ice cream scooper with our navel. Extend the right arm forward, right arm back, left, and right leg forward. Same arm and leg. Breathing in, maybe a flex and a point. Breathing out. Come back to center. And now like you're putting something in your pocket, left pocket, and your right pocket. Gentle twist. And twist. And 2. And 3. We'll go to 5. 2 more. 1 more. And then all the way down. 6, 7. Stretch the arms, stretch the legs. Inhale, reach the arms, reach the head up. Continue to send your belly button back as you hollow out. So imagine you have a rope here, and then it retracts you all the way back down, rolling through the spine. Maybe flex your feet this time, change it up. Inhale, arms and head, hollow it out. Take a pulse, roll back down. Good. This time, stay down, bending your knees, plant your feet down, find yourself back situated on your mat. And we'll bring our hands underneath of our bottom and extend the legs up. Externally rotate from the top of the thighs like we're in first position. And we're going to cross the right over the left. And we're going to beat, 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 beat down just to hover off the ground, about 45 degrees. Now, you can stay just like this. You can also tuck your chin towards your chest, which I like to do. We're going to go all the way back up to 90 or 180 and then hover off the ground. So we're working the inner thighs here. We're beating, 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 activating, pointing through the toes. This is like we're beating battement, petit battement, like little beats. Battu, it's battu. Little beats in French, which will help with our changement, entrechocat in ballet. Just gaze towards your navel. You could flex your feet too if you get crampy, but try your best to stay with the point. Try to relax your shoulders and imagine you have like a grapefruit under your chin, but you are still lengthening the back of the neck long. 3 more, down and up. 3, 2, beating the upper inner thighs. Last one. And down. 6. Stay and hold in first position. Reach, reach, reach. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Small ball. Give yourself a big hug. Make yourself into a big X. You deserve a moment of rest. Take it for a moment. Stretch the arms and legs beneath you. Bending the arms, bending the knees, coming back into your constructive rest. Take a moment to recenter. So we're preparing, our feet are down on the ground, knees upward, parallel. We're going to lengthen and lift our head again. So lengthen and lift just like we're peeling off the mat, and then allow the arms to come and reach forward, fingertips energizing towards the bottom of your mat. We're going to inhale, reach further, like you're trying to reach past your ankle with your left hand, back to center, and then do the same thing with your right. So side to side. Again, it's the obliques, and we want just the tips of the shoulder blades on the mat. You might already feel the burn from all the previous work we did to prime this moment. Just stay and breathe. Side to side. Lengthening one side longer, lengthening the other side longer. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, feel the burn, 2, last 1, now come in the middle, 2, 3, 5, I skipped 4, 6, 7, 8, and small ball, good again, rock and roll, crossing the legs, planting your hands, step back into that nice long plank position. This time let's slowly lower down, elbows in, gazing down. We're gonna give ourselves just a small little stretch. Baby cobra, but you can keep your thighs down for this one. Maybe allow the head to rock up and down, taking a semi-head roll. You can look past and over your shoulder towards your leg. It's okay to separate your legs here, especially for your back. Bending the elbows back in, lowering down, belly button, lower ribs, upper ribs finally facing down. Planting your hands. Again, you're going to push up your upper body, widen your knees as wide as your mat, and come into a child's pose. Reaching your arms overhead, maybe tenting your fingertips down into the ground so you lift your palm. Just take a nice big breath into the back body. We're not done yet, but almost. Now melting your elbows, clasp your hands so you can interlace your hands, your fingers, and start to circle out a few directions, a few times in both directions. Because we're going to bear a little more weight on those wrists. So maybe pressing into one hand and the other. Take one more final breath here in child's pose. Lengthen out. Really fill your lungs fully. Open your mouth. Let it all go. On your next inhale, come back to your all fours. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to want to keep that same gaze nice and long ahead of us. So inhale, right arm forward, left leg back. We're not leaving the ground just yet. Exhale the limbs back into center, kind of how we started. Opposite arm and leg. Inhale, keeping your left hand on the ground and your right foot. Exhale back. This time we are going to leave the ground, timing them together. Inhale, right arm, left leg. And exhale back down. Same thing. Left arm, right leg. Reaching long, toes face downward. So we're not opening up the hip. Exhale down. This time, we're going to add on. So inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale, elbow to knee, rounding in, so curling your head in, nose to knee. Inhale, reach long, fingertips and toes away from each other, and then back down. When you're making contact with that bottom hand, so inhale, really press down with the base knuckle. Left arm, right leg, long reach. Exhale, curling in, nose to knee, elbow to knee. Inhaling away. Exhale back. Again, same thing, a little faster. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, down. Inhale away, exhale, curl, rounding but lengthening, and down. And this time's a little different. So inhale, right arm, left leg. We're gonna curl in. We're gonna extend, inhale. On the exhale, we're gonna bring the right arm to the side and the left leg to the side. Yep. Inhale, back to where we started. One more curl. Inhale, exhale, down. So there we go, we added that addition. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Right leg to the side, left arm to the side, hovering, trying to keep them equidistant for balance. Inhale, exhale, curl. Inhale, extend, and down. So let's repeat that twice again on both sides. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Curl, exhale. Inhale away, and side to side. Inhale, reach, right arm, left leg. And exhale, curl. Inhale, reach away. And back to your starting position. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Curling, exhale. Inhale away. Exhale, side to side. Inhale, reach long, front to back. Exhale, curl. Inhaling away. And exhale. Last time on both sides. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Curling in, exhale. Might feel shaky. That's okay, you're working it. Keep up the challenge, side to side. Make your last curl on this side. Inhale, long, 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 long. Exhale, back. Left arm, right leg. Exhale, curl. Inhale away. And right arm, right leg, left arm. Inhale, exhale, curl. Last one, you got this, long as can be. Inhale, exhale, down. Push back to sit on your heels. Roll out those hands, give yourself a little massage and a stretch after that. But wonderful job, you did it. Woohoo! So this is the core work moment. Let's bliss out and feel the fire, feel the heat. I know I'm warmed up from that, and there's a lot more we could do from there, but give yourself some tender loving care, take a nice Epsom salt bath, or just walk it out. But this is a nice little strengthening routine, and there'll be more where this came from. So thank you for watching, and thank you for doing. Thank yourself. Yay.